history is your subject, I thought it's your optional as well. A little bit about historical, historical point of view, India's influence and links in Southeast Asia, South Asia. What are they? A little bit of what are the historical influences and linkages? And where did they go? Where these get established?
There are several influences of India in Southeast Asia. So now basically we see various Hindu temples that are there in Southeast Asia, in Vietnam and Cambodia, Angkor Wat and also Buddhism now. It went from India to there through traders and various kinds of religious men, we can say. They went from India to there.
That's the only historical links. Go back a little time or come forward a little bit of time.
This is
Buddhism went much before it was went in India. From where?
Cholas, yes, because
who were Cholas? Where were they?
Who was the chap? Who was the king?
Rajaraja Chola and Rajendra Chola. They both and the Chola Empire, they had their trade relations with
Trade is where they go to the That's where it began. Why did trade? How? How and why?
As far as I know that
So that is what you need. Don't see links and
Cholas, they were marital power. So the Bay of Bengal, whole of Bay of Bengal, it came to be known as Chola Lane. So like they had influence in Southeast Asia.
So that's where they will send their ships. Not send their ships when their boats went. And they've been trading, and that's how the religion went. And they will establish an empire there, Bali. There's still a lot of influence there. Buddhist influence, of course. Thailand. Tell me what is influence in Thailand?
I have to read
A little bit too much from a historical perspective. The king there is known as Rama. Rama 1, Rama 2, Rama 3, Rama 4. They have a Ramayana there called the Ramakien. It's a different version, but it's there. Especially, and other countries as well in Southeast Asia have a certain version of the Ramayana.
I also remember that I saw in Majnu ka Tila, that is there in Delhi University. I saw that the statues of Hindu goddesses, they were made in their fashion.
Yes, absolutely. They have that slightly different style of making it. But you have Brahma. There's a Brahma temple in Thailand.
In Myanmar, man.
Myanmar. Yes, Myanmar is there.
In deep Tibet, China.
China, right?
China, you find Ram Sita, but made with that kind of feature. So
yes, Chinese features, absolutely. The historical perspective, because in your history, I'm sure you have read how everything went outward and influence, interaction of different influences. Even in India, if you say, in India also you had influence from outside. So, and in South Asia, Afghanistan and the Bamiyan Buddhas that were there.
the Gandhara school.
Gandhara school.
Dharma Buddha is nobody like Gandhara.
No, absolutely. So all those things that should be part of the historical idea in your mind. How it interlinks. It's not just about history per se, but how it's linked, interlinked, how historical linkages have been established. To this day they exist. And how we can influence or we can sort of leverage these linkages and ties to increase our bilateral ties and bilateral relationships. And briefly, again, historical perspective, 75 years of India's foreign policy approaches. Turning points and what are the main approaches now in today's date. Cut. These are some of the turning points, is what happened. Now, this is our approach.
Ma'am, I think that there has been both continuity and change in our foreign policy. For example, when we got independence, we stood for many of the recently decolonized nations through non-aligned movement. And same continues to this date. Ma'am, we saw that we took vaccine mapping and we provided vaccines to many of the nations.
How is that related to that?
Ma'am, ma'am, standing up for oppressed nations or some other
Voice of the
nations.
global
Yes,
south. Okay, do that. Yeah.
Uh,
You also said to, not the vaccine, but the medical equipment to the US, to the UK.
yes, ma'am, and even some of the missions like Operation Ganga and Operation recently in Afghanistan, like the Operation Doof. And this is how we are.
Turkey?
Yes, ma'am.
So like some few things, and first come historically, step by step. Just think for a moment. One line के बाद फिर कब क्या, what is the next change in our foreign policy and the next. Just think a little moment and don't jump in. If you can recall. Okay, that's all. It's all right.
So Nausheen, if you could quickly tell us about the meaning.
May I interrupt for a second? Sorry, ma'am.
Yeah.
When you go home,
Yes, sir.
think about this particular question.
Yes, sir.
Split it into 5 periods or 6 periods because that's how it evolved. 1940s to what? According to you, 1970, 1971, Soviet, and from that point till what time?
Okay.
25 years को split कीजिए और उसके बाद आप पाएंगे design.
Economic reforms, nuclear
And what
signing of the.
what influenced what?
Yes.
Which is why what foreign policy today is. Please.
Yeah, so I just wanted to know what does your name mean?
Yes, sir. It has two meanings. One, it means that something that is as sweet as honey. And second, the new snowfall that takes place on hill. Sir, it is also known as Nausheen.
So you've written you're interested in chess. Do you also follow chess?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you quickly tell us what's the difference between rapid, bullet, and blitz?
Yes, sir. The rapid chess, it involves time limit of 10 to 60 minutes. Answer a bullet, it involves less than 10 minutes. And for this blitz chess, it is 1 or 3 minutes.
Is there also per move additional time?
No, sir, there is one or another type that is 3-1. So if 3 minutes get over, the next move they are given 1 second or 1 minute. This is 3 dash 1.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Are you aware of Bano's chess?
No, sir.
Okay. So you are a history student, history was your optional.
Yes, sir.
So can you tell us briefly about the subaltern perspective and some of the issues with subaltern perspective?
Subaltern school of history, sir. It evolved because of the elite perspective, we can say, that is there in history. So, sir, to counter it, many historians they started looking historical events from subalterns, from the uh, uh, what to say, sir, lower sections of the society. So, for example, we had many of the leaders in 1857 revolt that were not accounted in many of the history books. So they started taking up those leaders. For example, Sir Ranjit Hua, Rudrangshu Mukherjee, these are some of the subaltern historians. And for the issue part that exists in subalternism is, sir, what I know is there's some issue in nationalism, national perspective. Like, sir, the national historians they try to um, take these subaltern understandings into their perspective. But subaltern schools, they say that they have their own they have their own idea of what a nation is, and so this is what I can recall of the issue. Yes, sir.
A historian you find exceedingly inspiring. A historian alive. Who would that be? And your reasons? Historian from India, just to specify.
Yes, sir. One historian, sir, if I don't know whether he can be called as historian or not, sir, Jawaharlal Nehru who wrote.
Well, let's not bring in Nehru.
Okay.
Yes. Although a great historian,
Yes.
but let's just stick to the academic parameters. So,
Living historian. Living historian.
Living historian, sir. Sir, I don't have any such
Okay.
historian in my mind.
All right. Just last question. So, I believe you've read Vipin Chandra's works on world history.
Yes, sir.
And in relation to historical reasons for the growth of, in fact, his take on communalism
Yes,
is that till as late as 1937,
Yes, sir.
communalism as a problem
Yes, sir.
was only to be found in the economic domain. What's your opinion on this particular take?
Yes, sir. I support this view. So because yes, sir. Sir, because as far as I remember, so in 1937 elections, both these so-called communal parties, Muslim League and Hindu Mahasabha, so both of them did not perform well. And it was only after 1940s that such kind of communal mobilization started taking place, and it resulted in 1946 direct action and later partition. So I think that it was after 1937 and 1940s, as we can say that after this idea of whole Pakistan that started coming up, and they did not cooperate in this forming of this party government. So this is where they started taking major proportions. Yes.
Nausheen, India and China both were developing countries, and somewhere about 50 years back, these are countries.
Yes.
We were at this almost equal
Yes.
place for all indicators. But next 40 years, China ran very fast,
Yes.
and their GDP is much more than ours. The growth rate was now digital, was much more than ours. What was the reason? What they did right and what we did not do right?
Yes, sir. So I think this whole thing where China went a lot ahead of the other contemporary nations was called Great Leap Forward. So because of I think Sir Deng Xiaoping's policies that he did not follow this whole communist approach of economy. He opened up many of the sectors. He initiated many foreign economic relations with many nations, which were until then closed. And sir, we can see such reforms after 1991 in India. So this is where we created a gap between both economies.
Even after 1991,
Yes, sir.
they were still remain ahead.
Yes, sir.
In
Yes, sir.
some sectors which
We are
what was their main export and what was our main export?
So, Economic Survey 2020, I guess, sir, it mentions about the network projects, how they take up this whole Apple production and the manufacturing line, which we do not take, which we have not been able to take, and that was the suggestion that it was made in Economic Survey.
They were the factory of the world.
Yes, sir.
We were not.
Yes, sir.
We
Because
only software, we exported only
software and also, sir, in manufacturing sector, sir, we
You were very
Yes, sir.
like in
we moved from agriculture to service sector and that left behind our manufacturing sector.
Okay. See, a few years back,
Yes, sir.
still the trend is going on. Foreign ministers came to the market and said there are many HNI, high net worth individuals and Lanka HNIs
Yes,
are
sir.
leaving Indian citizenship and
Yes, sir.
acquiring foreign citizenship.
Yes, sir.
Why they are so much disenchanted from the India and settling abroad with their money?
Sir, I would not call it disenchantment, sir. That would be
You see, we hardly have very few rich persons,
yes,
and
sir.
out of that, some a chunk leaves and settle abroad, and get a lost in the country. How to stem that?
How to stem that?
Stem them, stop them, and
Yes, sir.
keep them in the country.
So if we only talk about high net individuals, so giving them tax benefits, I think would help them.
That's the only thing.
The investment options, so this is I'm making a guess, not very sure of the answer. Yes, sir.
So tell me, there is a new trend of live-in relationships,
Yes, sir.
and the matter that which being put as being outside is all right.
Yes,
Do
sir.
you think institution of marriage is losing its importance?
So I would not say it is losing importance, sir, because we see that so we can say that even the celebrities' marriages that are taking place, so even though there is a common perception that they do not take marriage. I'm not generalizing, sir, but there is a common perception that marriages for them are not very serious issue, but they are taking up marriages very because in the previous years we saw that many of the celebrities do not take marriages. So if they are taking up marriages and they are highlighting marriage, so I think that it is not losing its importance.
Do you think that the younger generation is trying to postpone marriage and even avoid marriages, which was not a trend 20 years, 10, 20 years back? Seen in many places.
Yes, sir. I have seen this among my friends also, sir. They are not married. They are not thinking of marrying till 30, sir. So just I think for a major reason for it is economic. Is we are more job oriented, or we can say that we are pursuing our career. So we think that first we settle this and then only we get married.
Marriage is not a plan.
Second,
Financial independence is.
financial independence.
Okay. So financial independence it is. Okay. Let's come to your state.
Yes, sir.
Considered the Maru state for a long time.
Yes, sir.
Why is it that its economy
Yes.
is now set to be improving?
Yes, sir.
What are the factors that bring in a lot of investment in the state?
Yes, sir. Can we take a moment to think?
Sure.
Yes, sir. Three reasons that I think that is improving its economy is first the infrastructural changes that are being made in the state. So, for example, Purvanchal Expressway, Defense Industrial Corridor, sir, and Ganga Yamuna Expressway, sir. And so recently in the budget, it was announced that metro light would come up in cities like tier 3 cities like Gorakhpur and Kanpur. So this is what is attracting major investors in the state. So second, sir, the tourism sector that is being pushed in the states are various circuits like Buddhist circuit and Buddhist circuits and Ramayan circuit. So it is coming up, and recent UP tourism policy of 2022. So it provided major investment benefits to the hotel industry. So this is also a major thing. So third, I think, it is making major improvement in education and health sector. So basically, the human development part. So I think that these are the three.
And, any improvement in the law and order situation, which may bring in the investment?
Yes, sir.
Has the environment changed?
Yes, sir. Thank you for reminding me of this law and order, sir. A recent report of NCRB shows that UP's crime rate is less than the national average. So I think this is also.
Forget about the NCRB data. Data are very difficult to absorb.
Yes, sir.
Whether they are right or wrong.
Yes, sir.
As a girl in UP, how do you feel that has the situation really improved for girls, or it continues to be as bad as it was?
Sir, regarding traveling, sir, I think it's a major issue, traveling alone. Sir, but I have seen that the whole coach of this train, sir, it has many women police officers. So used to say they roam around the whole time, and so if we face any issue, we can tell them. Sir, also helpline numbers are written everywhere, so we can call. Sir, this is I think sir, it make women feel more safer.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you heard of ODOP?
ODOP, yes, sir.
So, what is it?
One district, one product.
What is the product of your district?
Terracotta. Terracotta.
But I believe just because the CM comes from there, it has more than one product in that district.
Yes, sir.
Which is the second
Textile.
product?
Textiles.
Textiles.
Yes, sir.
Textiles is all ready-made garments. Textiles could be different from ready-made garments.
Sir, ready-made garments.
Are you sure about it?
Yes, sir. Ready-made garments.
आप हिंदी पढ़ती हैं?
Yes, sir.
Was one of your subjects?
Till class 10.
Till class 10. Nothing to do with this. Civil services. All right. Okay.
Yes,
Let me ask you a small question. Privacy has been major concern,
yes, sir.
and snooping by the government is a major
Yes, sir.
issue. The recently enacted law on telecommunication, does it guarantee the recently passed bill, the Telecommunications Act
Yes, sir.
of 2023, which has been given assent by the President, does it guarantee privacy now?
So there has been a major question on the provision that under issues of security and integrity of the nation, the government can intercept any of the messages. So, sir, this is a major concern of privacy, sir. But we need to trust our government that it would not snoop into our activities without any threat. So, this is what a major thing can be. So we cannot blatantly say that it would undermine our privacy.
So you will place so much of trust in government that they will not snoop on your spending patterns and your personal choices.
Sorry to interrupt. Or the individuals who are manning those posts.
Yeah.
In the government. That is really important.
Yes, sir. Sir, I believe that since government is making many of the efforts to counter such threats by major social media companies, for example, WhatsApp and Facebook, sir, recent IT Act 2021. So, sir, I would like to believe that it would not create privacy.
Thank you.
concerns.
All right, for now, let's go along with that. Ani.
Yes.
Now you have you are Muslim
Yes, sir.
and you have studied in Khalsa college.
Yes, sir.
What's the Khalsa?
Sir, Khalsa in
Literal meaning of the
yes,
word
sir.
Khalsa.
Khalsa in Sikhism, sir, it means to be pure. Yes.
Looking purely historically,
Yes, sir.
Islam started at some time, 7th century, right?
Yes, sir.
Sikhism was much later, almost 100 years later.
Yes, sir.
It is supposed to have taken the best of all the religions,
Yes, sir.
especially the good things from Islam,
Yes, sir.
equality before God,
Yes, sir.
Islam,
Yes, sir.
etc. The concept of welfare, the concept of charity, all that.
Yes, sir.
Even the Granth Sahib is full of.
Yes, sir. Many saints.
Having said which, operationally, much of Sikhism is from Punjab.
Yes, sir.
Now there is a growing trend. Please understand the drift of my question.
Yes, sir.
I can understand that the Sikh youth either go towards one religion or the other from which Sikhism is composed.
Yes, sir.
But they are running towards Christianity, which is of 2000, at least 1000 years earlier to them. Why is this concept here? Why is this complete change coming from? What explains this? I'm not against or in favor of any religion, but this is a very interesting social phenomenon. So
Yes, sir. So
it's
one-
not a religious phenomenon.
Yes,
I've
sir.
given you a hint, so take go.
Yes, sir. So one reason that I can think of this phenomenon is because many of the Sikhs they are going to Canada and Australia, sir. So there they are social.
Firstly, it
Yes,
should
sir.
be connected down. Now, I mean, no, that is economic side.
Yes, sir.
And let me add, it's not economic, it is not religious, it's not even political. What is the social? And I speak of people who are not going to God. So I'm serious.
Sir, maybe because sir, I'm taking a guess here, sir. Sir, because I think, sir, because in Sikhism also we are seeing that many of the caste prejudices it has propagated down in the society, sir. Many so-called lower caste, sir, they are facing issues from the upper caste. So, sir, I think that they are seeking more
You're
equality.
absolutely right. That is the reason what it is. Okay? The reason. There's a tremendous sharp increase in the number of conversions. And there are people who are wearing the pulp and
Yes, sir.
sick. Anyway, one, two, visiting historical places, right?
Yes, sir.
Today is 29th December. Oh, yes. It's a very important day. Tomorrow is technically a very, very important day. Madam Bhikaji Kama conferred the Indian tricolor when? For the first time in Stuttgart, Germany. Some country.
Yes, sir.
But on the Indian soil, for the first time, Indian tricolor was hoisted on 30th of December. Which year and where? By whom? Indian tricolor on Indian soil.
I'm not able to recall, sir.
Liberated Indian soil. Independent, not some country holding it when British are shooting at it. No.
No, sir, I'm not able to recall it right now.
Subhash Chandra Bose, 1943, 30th December.
Okay, sir.
याद आया? नहीं आप याद आया sir, you weren't there. But do you know the event?
No, sir.
30th December 1943, Netaji Bose in Port Blair hoisted this flag. And technically, it was the first time that it was done on Indian soil, liberated Indian soil. Understood?
Yes.
Freed soil. It was under Japanese occupation. That's it. तो आप नहीं गई हैं सिल्वर जेल? गए हैं और ये आपको नहीं मालूम। सिल्वर जेल में की खासियत क्या है? कंस्ट्रक्शन में।
Yes, sir. Architectural patterns, sir. That is, we can say that there is some central portion and then it gets
Yes, there are wings.
bifurcated into.
And how are the wings made? In what manner?
Sir, it was made so that they are not able to interact with any other.
They are able to see each other.
Yes, sir.
That's true.
Yes, sir.
Did you go into the library down there?
Library sections or museum.
Yes.
Yes, sir. I mean,
Okay.
yes, sir. Written names of the people who lost who were martyrs.
Okay. All right. Yes. Now we will come to a close of your interview. Now you tell me
Yes, sir.
how your interview went.
Sir, it went well. I think, sir, I need to work on some. Sir, sir, the sir said as some of the historians I need to work on, sir, because I do not have any favorite historian.
और कोई भी आपके ख्याल में था?
मतलब बहुत से
Yes, sir.
ये तो
Yes, sir. Romila Thapar, sir, is my favorite one.
चलो कोई बात। आजकल बहुत लोग हिस्टोरियन अपने आप कह ही रहे हैं। While you are on it,
सुमित सरकार है आपको यूनिवर्सिटी की हिस्ट्री पढ़ाते हैं।
But sir, I'm afraid of taking name of Romila Thapar, sir, because many claim that she is.
doesn't matter. We have studied her books also. The problem,
इंटीग्रेटेड कॉन्टेक्स्ट very big चंद्रा का नाम लीजिए वो सेंस
नहीं आप किसी का नाम a short point about short problem about certain historians
वो आपको बिल्कुल सही बात है।
is that You see, technically, a historian should say yes, according to my beliefs as of this day. This is what I realize. However, now certain evidence has come up, archaeological evidence, literary evidence, or whatever, which gives a slightly different angle to it. So therefore, I am willing to revise my theories, which is how a scientific temper should be. So if AIT, Iron Invasion Theory, is completely debunked because of certain archaeological where Raki Gadi, Sinoli, right? And it is proved that the Dravidians had the same genes as the Aryans. Where is the AIT? तो हमें हर कोई ये पढ़ा रहा है पिछले 50 साल से, 30 साल से, मैं भी पढ़ रहा हूँ 40 साल से कि साहब ये AIT था. अब मैं उसे दोबारा से पुनर्विचार करने के लिए तैयार हूँ. So that is how it should. Otherwise, if somebody is there, Thakur is a very respected name for the past 40 years, why not? You take her name. But you should be prepared to also point out that she is terrific, but she is not changing her views. That's the issue. Otherwise, she is let her be a Marxist. How does it matter? You're not responsible for becoming a Marxist, are you? चलिए दूसरी जो मैं आपको बताना चाह रहा हूँ, you are giving, I am talking to you, you are giving almost 99% of your eye contact to me. Don't do that. No more than 60 to anybody. Keep looking, keep distributing the other 40 so that you are engaging the entire board. I am asking the questions, but you are responding to the entire board. Two, don't clench yourself. Throw your shoulders back a little. बिल्कुल आराम से बैठिए, आराम से यूं हाथ रखिए और ऐसे gesticulate भी कीजिए. आप कभी-कभी subconsciously कर रही हैं.
बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हैं.
जो होना चाहिए.
अपने आप रोक रही.
और फिर अपने आप को रोक रही. Some people say that you should not have. छोड़ दो. तुम्हें जाना है नहीं जाना. तो फिर
सुनिए अभी क्या ना कुछ बोलते हैं तो ये नेचुरल है, इसको अपना नेचुरल
इन्होंने वही पे कहना चाहिए. जो बोर्ड को चाहिए वो ये है कि आप सहज हैं या नहीं है. सहज तरीके से आप परिवार में अपने बुजुर्गों के साथ कैसे बैठती है, ऐसे बैठती है, ऐसे बात नहीं करती है, थोड़ा बहुत हिलाकर किसी पॉइंट को एक्सरसाइज करके जरूर कीजिए. आपकी मुस्कान, आपका सहज व्यक्तित्व बहुत ही ज्यादा प्रभावित करता है और इसको कभी भी कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं. और एक और अच्छी चीज आपके साथ ये है कि कहीं पे भी आपने थोड़ा सा सोचा, जवाब नहीं आया, हाँ बात खत्म. Then switch to the next question. आप फुटेज नहीं खाती हैं. You're just able to take that thing and go with it. So be very natural which you are and just be a little eye contact. जो knowledge gaps है कोई दिक्कत नहीं. As far as I am concerned, you can always brush up on those things. There you are. Very on.
When is your interview?
Ma'am, 18th of January.
This is done.
Yes, ma'am.
You want practice to be relaxed.
Yes,
So you're
ma'am.
becoming very tense. If you should अच्छे से बात करना, suddenly you become tense. First, if somebody asks for something you can't get, you say, oh God, what have I done? So that's just coming here. So don't try and just practice it. You don't, get so give your nervous vibes all over. And we also get nervous.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry to say, but actually, I'm trying to look more serious, but because ma'am, in the previous mock, I was told that you are not taking board members seriously. So
बहुत ज़्यादा हंसते हो, बहुत ज़्यादा भी मत हंसो.
ma'am, this is my natural.
Be natural.
ऐसे लगे आप.
Then the way you conducted yourself, the way you responded was outstanding. You went into your shell where you failed to answer a question. Wherever you felt you didn't know the question, then for a while you went into your shell, you were not your natural self. But when a question came that you knew, then you were natural. And our attempt was, we could notice it. And that's why we some questions were deliberately asked to put you at the spot. We don't want to We want the best of a candidate to come out. We don't want to strangulate the intellect of the candidate. We don't want to do it. We don't want to strangulate the personality of the candidate. The board wants the best of the candidate to come out. You were very good. And secondly, don't sit tense. अगर आपको हाथ ऐसे किसी ने बोला कि जमा के रखो, that is not your natural style. Don't do it. But don't gesticulate too much also. So you are absolutely spot on. Your answers were good. You spoke with conviction. Wherever you didn't know, you said, sorry, I don't know. You need to learn more and learn more. When you go back, look at those issues and equip yourself better. All the very best to you. You should
Just
make
one
it.
small, very small. देखिए, अगर आपको किसी चीज कोई पूछी जाए और आपके पास 3 सेंटेंस बहुत बड़े आपने रट के आए, फिर भी exactly वो चीज बोल रही है. Give the appearance of thinking. Dilute away the large words and make it as natural as possible. It should not appear bookish. Don't be in a rush to answer. कहीं कहीं पे आप बहुत बढ़िया दिख रहा है कि सोच के जवाब दे रही है. That is the best part. Right?